Good day and welcome to the Power Up. I'm your host, Tami Hill Thomas, excited to bring another session of perspective, information, and inspiration. So let's get started. We first thank the We Empower Network for continuing to host such an informative platform and excellent quality as it does 7 days a week. As we discuss global news this morning, today, wherever you are around the globe, we first want to share that our hearts remain heavy and our thoughts with those who are experiencing or have experienced fires over the last few weeks. We've shared on this show the fires, the wildfires in Canada, and those natives, those citizens who continue to breathe smog and smoke because of those raging fires. And then the fires that blew out of proportion in Maui, Hawaii. Our family who's in Hawaii, who, with a spur of the moment fire that was claimed by a local electrical company, the winds kicked up by a nearby hurricane caused an entire island to burn out of control. So much that the residents were found jumping in the waters just to flee for safety. And yet again on this show, we must share another fire that has claimed lives. A nighttime fire ripped through a rundown apartment building, mainly occupied by the homeless and squatters in Johannesburg, South Africa, Thursday morning, leaving 74 deceased. Some people threw babies out of third-story windows to others waiting below in a desperate attempt to evacuate the premises. At least 12 of those killed were children, the youngest being 1 year old. And according to medical officials, there were so many bodies and missing individuals that the recovery efforts will take up to weeks. Now, not only did we lose 74 of our brothers and sisters in Johannesburg, but 50 people were injured as well, 6 of whom are still in the hospital. Serious injuries, serious conditions. Took 24 hours just to get the blaze under control, according to the Associated Press. Sadly, South Africa has experienced a lot of turmoil. And Johannesburg says that over 20 years in service, the emergency services management spokesperson says he never saw anything like this. Authorities hadn't established the cause of the fire as of yet, but they do believe that the inhabitants use candles and fires to light rags in a bin to keep warm in their cold climate. Firefighters are still making their way through the remnants and the shacks to be able to go through the structure and identify and anyone that might still exist and extinguish the fires while smoke continues to seep out of the building. So our hearts are heavy nationally with our Canadian brothers and sisters, those in Maui, our Hawaiian brothers and sisters, and now in Johannesburg, as they must celebrate the lives of 74 individuals who had nowhere else to go. Homelessness is not just a local issue, it is a national issue. So just because you have, doesn't mean our spotlight, our love, our care should end with us. We want to make sure to remind you that you are empowered to make a difference. Consider sharing your gifts, donating to the United Nations Foundation. The United Nations Foundation is a global advocate. They elevate the cause of humanity around the globe. Those in Johannesburg who now must recover, those who are in Canada where those wildfires continue to burn. The fires happen every summer in Canada. And the Forest Fire Center continues in Canada to try to stay on top of how many are ablaze and how many they're able to extinguish. But our hearts remain heavy for those in British Columbia, in Nova Scotia, in Quebec, who since May have experienced poor health quality. Family, you have the power to make a difference. We look at celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who have stepped up and already committed $1 million to pledge to the citizens of Maui, how they are in position to be able to be a blessing. Do you know that you are as well? That it's not about the little, but about how the little can become much. Consider donating to the United Nations Foundation. United Nations Foundation has advocates that their sole purpose is to elevate what happens around the globe. Excuse me. So not just in your neighborhood, but across the water. We also want to take this moment to highlight the hurricanes that our Floridian brothers and sisters have been experiencing. Pardon me. Hurricane season is amongst us. Many who are in the Florida Keys, who live along the coast all the way in the Carolinas, experience torrential winds and rain from local hurricanes. If you find that you're in the United States and the impact has caused you great stress or anxiety, there is help for you. The Disaster Distress Helpline is run by SAMHSA, and it's one that's meant to help you. You can text, you can call the number on your screen, where they are there to assist you with local resources and support. Mental health is just as important as your physical health. So consider tapping into the resource of the National Disaster Distress Helpline. Again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're there to support you as you deal with the different hurricanes, the different local disasters, the flooding, how it all may impact you. Maybe you didn't lose a home, but your family was impacted. You still can get the support from this helpline. We're proud here at the Power Up to be prominent in resources. We want to make sure that no matter what you face, how you might feel, that you remember that you're not alone. Our job here is to equip, educate, empower, and elevate you to make a difference where you are. If you've experienced a disaster, if you've experienced something traumatic, there's help. Consider how you can tap into the resources around you. Again, the Disaster Distress Helpline is meant not just for those who are initially impacted, but maybe over the next few weeks and months, you might need to know what local resources are available. Listen, when life causes stress, we want to know we have support. So while you can offer your funds, while you can offer your service, also know that there are those there for you. Consider how you might tap into the distress helpline and refer others that you're aware of that might be in a place of anxiety, that they might also get the support they need. We are better together, one human race. Family, our hearts are heavy with those who are experiencing fires around the globe, hearing of the losses of so many because of what circumstances might be out of their control. Someone trying to keep warm and how it impacts you, a hurricane, or even a wildfire. Smokey the Bear always says, you can prevent forest fires, But if there are some who might not be thinking that way and you're impacted, there are ways you can get assistance. Again, globally, consider tapping into the United Nations Foundation. That's their job, to be a resource around the globe. Locally, whether you're in the Gulf of Mexico, you're in the panhandles of New Orleans, maybe Mobile, Alabama, our wonderful family in Texas, wherever you might be where these hurricanes come during hurricane season, our family in Puerto Rico. Yeah, we know you're a part in our hearts. Consider the anxiety and distress you might feel. Tap into that distress helpline. We at the Power Up are here standing with you no matter what you face because we're all powerful together. As we move forward, I'm excited to bring an interview and an expert who can share some enlightenment as well. So stay tuned. There's more after this.
What's up, family? It's your girl, Terry Y. Hicks of the amazing Fab Five, and I am here to tell you to tune into the Empowerment Morning Show Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the WIN Network.
Hey, how you guys doing? This is Regina Hutt, the wellness practitioner at Empower Mornings. Join me every Monday at noon to work out with Regina on WIN Network.
Hey, it's Coach Piangel Jones from the Empowered Morning Show, and I'm reminding you to watch All Things Well, 4 Thursdays, right here on the WIN Network.
Welcome back to the Power Up. We're going to continue as we move forward with this segment by bringing an amazing guest today. I'm truly honored to be joined today by an equal opportunity specialist, her own advocate for humanity, Miss Magda Gomez Brown. She is going to educate us on Hispanic Heritage Month and how we can elevate and encourage our Hispanic and Latino brothers and sisters around the globe. Welcome, Magda, to the Power Up. We're honored to have you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you, Tami, for the opportunity. And thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today. My name is Magda Brown, and thank you so much for having me here today to speak about the Hispanic Heritage Month. What a better, there was no better month for you to invite me over. Hispanic Heritage Month. It's celebrated nationwide from September 15th all the way through October 15th. And we could not be happier to actually celebrate these years. This year's theme is Todos somos uno. We are one. And as one, we are all going to be celebrating this year's theme all together. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about Hispanic Heritage Month. First, it's actually first started as a long week celebration in 1968. But on August 17, 1988, President Ronald Reagan stretched the celebration to a full month rather than just 1 week. And we couldn't be more thrilled about it. It starts on September 15 because it marks the independence of 5 Latin American countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In September, it's also a month of celebration to Mexico and Chile, which celebrates their independence on September 16th and September 18, respectively. So I just welcome everyone to celebrate as best as you can, but we are very, very excited. So thank you for allowing me to actually bring that up. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, thank you. I know your work and your advocacy in the Hispanic and Latino community, having witnessed some of the amazing opportunities you've had as a speaker, both on advancing women's empowerment and education for the populations and the cultures that you impact. Share some vital information we should know as we lift up our Hispanic and Latino brothers and sisters.
Well, thank you so much, Tami. Actually, being a Hispanic in federal service, it's I'm gonna say it's challenging. Okay, so however, my passion has always been in equal employment opportunity, and that passion grew out of challenging situations for me and my family. Having been born in Colombia, South America, and immigrating to the United States as a teenager, allowed me with the opportunity to struggle, right, and face many challenges. But through those difficult situations, I was able to assimilate into the American way of life, and I have devoted myself to helping others who, like me and my family, have struggled. And today, as a Hispanic federal female in federal service, right, I strive to serve others and to help others. Currently, the Hispanic population represents 63.7 million in the United States, making us the nation's largest racial or ethnic minority. Right? What a great fact. However, unfortunately, Hispanic Americans are the most underrepresented in federal service, right? In the federal workforce. And according to the civilian labor force benchmark for the Hispanic workforce at all federal agencies, we should be at a minimum of a 12.98%. However, many federal agencies nationwide continue to be below that benchmark. And so the civilian labor force, by the way, is the percentage of people over the age of 16 not institutionalized or in military active duty, working or actively looking for work. And so, despite of being the largest, right, minority population, Hispanics continue to struggle to get those seats at the table in federal service. And it is one of my missions in life, right, to help put the word out there and to help Hispanics as best as I can, to be able to join the federal civilian workforce. It is a labor of passion. It is a duty where you're raising your right hand to help others, right? And I think if anything, Hispanics always share that struggle in some type of way. And so I think that struggle is what motivates us and should motivate us to bring others up and to help others and to help each other to have a seat at the table. And again, I believe that together we'll get farther. And that is why this year's Hispanic Heritage Month topic or theme is just so important. Todos somos uno. And so it's outstanding. I'm really excited, and I really hope that I can help as many Hispanics as I can, and not just Hispanics. Again, todos somos uno. We are one, right? We all need to work together to be able to. And it's actually we are one. And so I don't think that one. I don't think that Hispanics we cannot do it alone, right? You are your fellow keeper, and so we all need to be able to help each other and to help each other strive and be better each day. But again, I believe that together we'll get farther. I don't think that one person, right, or one group can actually do it by themselves, especially in the DMV, in the DC metropolitan area, where it's just a melting pot. And what makes us unique, it's living, growing up with each other, with different races, with different cultures. And that is what brings enrichment to our lives. That is what makes us rich. That's what makes us want to travel, see the world. We don't actually need to travel far to see different cultures and to appreciate each other's differences, which is what makes us learn and it makes us grow. as one, right? And so it's an outstanding month. And again, I will suggest that everyone, please take a look at the different resources. The National Council of Hispanic Employment Program Managers offers a whole list of items on how each company or agency or individuals can actually celebrate and take part of these year's 2023 Hispanic Heritage Month, again from September 15th through October 15th. But however, uh, the fight for Hispanics entering into the workforce, especially serving the public, it's nonstop, right? So it doesn't stop in 1 month. But again, this is the time for us to come together and to celebrate and highlight all of the beauty that the Hispanic community and Hispanic culture has to offer. So thank you.
Thank you. We are in such an amazing space where we can celebrate each other, right? Our cultures, our lineage, our ancestry. Just because we have different skin, we're all the same underneath. And I thank you for reminding us of that. I do also want to thank you. As you mentioned, you've been doing advancing the cause of equal opportunity for 14 years now, for quite a while. But you also are a proud service woman of our United States military. So we thank you for your service in our Air Force, Air National Guard. We honor you. I would ask, though, also knowing that you're the founder of Imakis. Did I say it correctly?
You're
Imakis?
absolutely correct. Yes.
Awesome. Imakis Home Arts Foundation, which has an amazing cause in itself. Please share how we can learn more about it and support it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of those remarks, Tami. And yes, and again, I just want to say, being a female in federal service, being a Hispanic female in federal service hasn't been easy. But again, I'm really hoping that that when you have that Hispanic presence in your office, that that it teaches the people around you something, because I certainly have taken a lot within me and have been able to grow and learn a lot. Also, yes, I'm very proud of DC Air National Guard Airmen. Absolutely. So they have changed my life for the better. And I could not be more proud of wearing that uniform 1 weekend per month. Also, Imakis Home Arts Foundation. Yes, I started Imakis Home Arts Foundation in 2014, and it came out of the necessity that I saw for children in underprivileged communities to express themselves. When I first came to the United States, I couldn't actually speak English, but I knew how to paint and I knew how to draw, which is what landed me a spot in college. And so I couldn't speak English, but I could draw and I could paint. So you work with what you have, right? And so that is something that I believe that I can actually give back to the community. I collect art supplies from friends and family. I have a website. It's actually Imakis Home Arts Foundation. And people can please, again, it's imakishomeartsfoundation.com. People can go and then they can actually see all the pictures from all of the programs that we've had and I've had with children in my immediate community of the DC metro area. And I usually do it at churches or whatever the space is available between the months of June and August. And I bring all the art supplies, which are provided to me by friends and family. And sometimes I buy them myself. And again, I just go and teach kids art and they can express themselves. And let me tell you, it's been a life-changing. I've been teaching kids art, but they teach me as well. And so it is a privilege to be able to help the community in that capacity. And again, even in 2014, when I was just starting in federal service. Well, I had been in federal service for I joined in 2009. So about 5 years in, but I was still able to give something to the community. So you work where you are and with what you have, and there's always always room to be able to give and to support your community. And I'm very proud to do that through Imaki's Home Arts Foundation.
Wow, again, such a powerful opportunity and influence you are to the world. In your advocacy on social media, on the different platforms, you're constantly speaking at different engagements, trying to uplift and enlighten. And that's why we're grateful that you had time for the Power Up today. Emaki's,
That's
EMAKIS,
correct.
homeartsfoundation.org.
That's correct.
Okay, great. We want to send folks to the right spot. And thank you for your work in the community. I want to just end with one more question for you, if I may. Certainly your heart is so big. Women's advocacy, children, the federal workforce, the military, so much that you're doing to just make a difference in many different ways. Share with us what your influence was. How did you get started with your heart to serve in this way?
Um, since I was a child living in Colombia, South America, I started seeing the need. I grew up in the 1980s in Colombia, South America, and in times of internal war for the country. Of course, now Colombia has advanced immensely, and now people want to retire in Colombia, and I applaud that. And that is the country where I was born, right? And I respect it very much. But my heart it's here. It's in the United States of America, a country that has given me every opportunity. This country has given me every opportunity. I wanted to be educated, and I was able to accomplish that. And I continue to learn because Hispanics are also, again, underrepresented in when it comes to education. And so we need to, even though we are, again, the largest minority, we need to continue to educate ourselves and to want to have a seat at the table. And again, we are underrepresented at the highest levels of leadership, and so we need to change that. And I'm not really sure what the solution to that will be, but education for sure. It's something that I see happening, and so in this country allowed me to educate myself. This country allowed me with the opportunity to help others, which is not something that is given. It's something that you have to. In order to help others, you have to fight for that right. And so I couldn't be more thankful. The United States of America has given me every opportunity. And again, when you have freedom, when you have laws in place, when you have regulations in place, that's when you can enjoy your surroundings, and you can focus on education, and you can focus on working and on serving others. And again, it is a privilege to work in federal service and through the military. And again, I am very thankful for every opportunity.
And we thank you. We thank you, Miss Magda Gomez Brown, for your impact in the world and for your heart to serve others tirelessly. If you're not speaking, if you're not working, if you're not advocating, you're serving our country. And congratulations on the new poo that is on the way to you and Mr. Brown. We extend our excitement. We know it's your first to come, so woo, enjoy those wonderful forthcoming sleepless nights. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Tami. My husband and I couldn't be more thrilled. This is our first child. We just got married last September. And so we feel very blessed. We feel extremely blessed for this opportunity that God has given us. And I'm a woman of faith, and my husband is too, a man of faith. And we couldn't be more thankful. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. Again, family, you can certainly find Miss Magda Gomez Brown on social media platforms. You can support her work with Imaki's Home Arts Foundation as she works with the babies and continues to serve our country tirelessly but lovingly. We thank you so much for joining us today, for educating us on Hispanic Heritage Month. And as we sign off, please, once again, the slogan and what we need to know about it.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate, I really appreciate this opportunity. Todos somos uno. We are all, we are one. We are one nation. We are a melting pot. And what makes us beautiful and interesting and rich is our cultures, right? And bringing all of those together. We don't have to travel, we don't have to go anywhere to find that richness in culture. So thank you.
Thank you, Magda, for joining us today. Family, wow, what a powerful session. We're so honored to have not just this expert, but this advocate. Thank you for joining us, Magda. Don't go anywhere. The Power Up continues. Stay tuned. There's more after this.
Hi, guys. It's Tina Wynn, your host of the podcast, You See Me. I want you guys to stay encouraged, continue to come out and see me, and most importantly, see yourselves. Remember, the only way that you can truly enjoy life is to see other people so that you can enjoy the beauty of seeing yourself. Come join me Saturdays at 4 on the We Empowered Network. Thank you.
Marshall Weeks here with you on Financial Friday. I bought my car in 2014 brand new. I walked into the dealership with financing from my own bank. It was the best feeling in the world. A 3% interest rate. My car payment with tax wasn't more than $315. Needless to say, I paid it off and I'm still driving it. I've maintained my vehicle, oil changes, new tires, tune-ups on schedule. People say to me, when are you going to get a new car? Don't you want something bigger? My daughter asks periodically, why can't we get a Tesla? Kids, right? My car has treated me well because I treat it well. Yes, it's old, it has some bumps and bruises, and eventually I will have to purchase another car. But what's the rush? Timing is everything. So I ask you today, are you on track? It is easy to get caught up in, I deserve this. I work hard. God wants me to have the best. Yes, he does. And yes, we do work hard, but there is still a time for everything. How do we get the best and maintain the best? Do we think God wants us to have a fancy car or fancy house or whatever your thing is and not be at peace? What's the point in having an amazing home but have to work over 80 hours a week to keep it? What's the point in stepping out of a nice vehicle but the tires are bald? Carrying a $700 purse with no money in the wallet? But it's the best and we work hard so we deserve it. Does that sound like God to you? No, that sounds like confusion. Where is the peace in any of those scenarios? Surely if we serve a God that feeds the poor, heals the sick, restores souls, casts out demons, bringing folks back from the dead, then surely we know at the right time he will bring about our desires in a way where we can enjoy them and not be stressed out about it. Let us not be blinded by the shiny things and forget we have a plan. And leave room for the Holy Spirit to move things around in our plan. I'm going to drive that car until the wheels fall off or until God grants me permission to purchase a new vehicle. I know his best for me right now is driving a paid-for car that takes 85 octane and allows me to stack my investments. The world thinks shiny and bright is the best. As believers, we choose wisdom and peace. That's his best. Join me Monday, August 28th at 8 o'clock p.m. for Money Conversations with Mars as we continue to discuss our pre-retirement checklist. You've been empowered because you should prosper.
Welcome back to the Power Up as we continue now into our health front. As you know, watching the Power Up, our team is very excited to continue to bring information on how you can be the best you possible. That includes mind, body, spirit, financially, relationships, socially, anything that has to do with you. Today, we're going to speak on you are what you eat. A lot of folks don't want to talk about that. We're not going to hammer exercise today and that you got to burn something when you eat the wrong things. What we will do though is share some amazing information from two very valuable resources and educate you on empowering yourself with decision making. Do you know that there are things you consume that can make the difference in the medications you take? Did you know that diabetes is reversible? So the diagnosis doesn't have to be a death sentence. But a lot of times, just changing your diet, what you consume, can help you. One of the biggest resources is the American Diabetes Association, which shares a lot of amazing health tips. Here are some important information, some important facts that you should consider on a regular basis. How much fruit and vegetables you consume. The reason that's important is things from the earth are meant to help keep you. Think about how big an elephant is, how big panda bears are, how big hippopotamuses are, and yet they eat what nature gives them: straight fruit, straight vegetables. So it's about making sure that you have the sustenance from the earth that's without purities, that's without additives, that's in its purest form, the best to help you. How about learning how much fat and sugar and salt you consume? Saturated fats are very harmful for your body. Let me help somebody. That's fried foods like fried chicken and French fries and oh, you come on, the stuff in the grease. And a lot of times doctors will not say you can't have it. Their information is consumption and how much. So today's health front is meant to share enlightenment, to elevate your awareness that what you eat can help you be healthy. Consider how much of that saturated fat you put in your body because it's hard to burn off and store. If you notice it in those love handles, in those front area, maybe in the back area, different places where you might be dealing with fat, we all are responsible for our bodies and how we maintain them. Consider what you do to be a healthy you. Base your meals on higher fiber. Consider how much fiber you put in your body that will help you process, help your gut health. Make sure you don't have the stomach ache, reduce your acid reflux. Come on, family. Help you to breathe and feel good because you're not carrying so much that causes you to be healthy, unhealthy. Also, don't forget to not allow yourself to become thirsty. See, when you feel thirst in your tongue, when it's to that point, oftentimes you've already started to lose secretion in your organs. Remember, you're over 60% water. So you got to stay hydrated. How your body gives you an indication that it's deficient is when you start to feel thirsty. Consider making sure that you if it's hot outside, family, take that frozen bottle of water with you straight out the freezer, knowing it's going to be cool and melt throughout the day. Don't leave your water bottles in a hot car. You'll notice the plastic start to melt as well. And all of a sudden, you're seeing things floating in your water. You don't want to consume plastic. It has been proven that it causes cancers. So you want to be as healthy as possible. Here's another tip. Do you know that they say it and it's true? Breakfast can be your most important meal of the day. Many of the healthcare professionals will say making breakfast your biggest meal can help your body because it'll give you energy. It helps you be able to be in a position where you have gas in the tank. Come on, food. Putting it in can give you something to burn. You'll notice your energy level skyrocketing, all because you had that healthy breakfast. Then that lighter, more sensitive lunch, and that very sensible dinner. Maybe fish or that salmon, considering how you might have that chef salad for dinner. What are the things you're consuming? That's what we wanted to elevate you today, to be equipped with some resources. WebMD is another amazing resource who offers many tips on a regular basis that covers how you even process grief, how you can have an overnight slumber that can help you restore your brain. And yes, even how to deal with practical eating tips. Consider going to webmd.com and get some of those tips that'll help you be the better you. Family, a lot of this information is not new that you may have heard before, but our job is just to bring you content to elevate your awareness, right? Like not putting off for tomorrow what you can do today as a healthy tip. All of those who want to lose 50 pounds, but remember you didn't gain it overnight, so you're not going to lose it overnight. However, the daily habits that you put in place, before you know it, your pants are getting thinner. Those things that used to be too tight are a little looser. Here's something even better. Your ankles aren't as swollen. Maybe those migraines start to become less. All because you're looking and being aware and practicing those habits that help you be healthy. Consider what you snack on. Uh-huh. Those of our Snicker bar folks, the ones that just got to have that chocolate, those who have to have that energy drink 5 times a day, you're just constantly popping and wondering why you're having heart palpitations. You want to be wiser in what you implement into your daily habits. Can I break it down this way? Little things that you do make a difference. They say that if you just drop a pebble in the water here, it can cause a tidal wave somewhere else. In other words, you reap what you sow. So if I grab that banana instead of that Milky Way, if I grab that smoothie that has a whole lot of vegetables and a lot of vitamins and even has that energy in it and some fruit, and I'm drinking that in lieu of some other bad choices, it can only help me be the best me. I have news for you. We're all going to age. It's the part of life, which means gravity will take over. Those wrinkles will appear, white hairs where there used to be black. Mentally, your brain changes. Seniors experiencing their brains shrinking. Life has an effect. There are things you did in your 20s that you might struggle with a little bit as you get closer to your senior years. Not saying you can't, just saying you want to be feasible and minded when you figure out the how to, because a fall as you are older doesn't heal the way one might have done when you were younger. Family, during this health front, we just want to remind you, you have the power to make a difference, starting with you. Loving yourself should always be first. The difference you make in your life will help influence all around you. You'll be the better aunt, better mom, better uncle, better neighbor. How about better citizen, better co-worker, better, better, better. All because you started with sensible diets or even just sensible meals. Do I need that Coke again when I had one earlier? Nah, you know what? I'm going to squeeze some of this flavoring in my water, or I'm even just going to put some fruit in my water and have it go down with the water. There are choices you can make to be the better you. And that's what we wanted to share on the Power Up. We hope this information was helpful, a great reminder WebMD is an amazing resource if you're looking for tips just in how to be a better you. And for folks who are dealing with different prescriptions and really want a practical perspective, try the American Diabetes Association. You don't have to be a diabetic to get the information and be better. But if you know someone who is, how about share the information with them? Because we're all held accountable as one human race. Stay tuned. We've got so much more information coming in our wrap up. What a powerful show. There's more after this.
Life has its way of being sweet, and life has its way of being spicy.
You did not have to hit me there.
Girl, I did not hit you that hard.
Anywho, life has its way of being hard, and life has its way of being easy. Join us every second Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time,
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time
at the We Empower Network. Tune in to the Sweet
and Spicy
Podcast. Hope to see you there.
Bye.
Welcome back to the Power Up. What an amazing show. We started with our global news as our hearts continue to extend across the water to our Canadian brothers and sisters still dealing with wildfires. In the hundreds, the fighters, the firefighters, and the government are trying to contain. That air they're still breathing with poor quality. Our hearts for those who are in Maui, Hawaii, our family in Puerto Rico, and in Johannesburg, South Africa, who lost 74 citizens due to a blaze that broke out in an abandoned building that was occupied by the homeless. Family, care. If you'd like to give, the United Nations Foundation remains a viable resource to help those. Remember, you might not live in Johannesburg, Canada, or Hawaii, but maybe your neighbor has family members from there. The United States is an amazing community of various cultures. And what's more important, even if you don't know someone, is if you have the ability to give, that means that you can be a blessing. Consider donating or even getting educated by the United Nations Foundation. Also, locally in the United States, we highlight our brothers and sisters who have been dealing with hurricane season. In New York, they were dealing with the aftermath of a hurricane that walked right up the East Coast. So no one is out of harm's way when nature takes its course. But we do want to remind you that there's support for those who are dealing with the anxiety and the stress of any natural disaster. Consider reaching out to the Disaster Distress Helpline. You can text, you can call. They remain available to provide resources in your local area, even for family members that you might know who need help. You can be a lifeline for them. Consider sharing that there's a helpline just to assist, because anxiety and mental health is important. The anxiety is real, so we want to make sure that your health care includes your mental state. All right? The Disaster Distress Helpline is there to help you. We thank Magda Gomez Brown for joining us today, as she is an amazing equal opportunity advocate and shared her almost 2 decades worth of experience. And she highlighted the Hispanic Heritage Month and how we can love up our Hispanic and Latino brothers and sisters. How education is important. Listen, only those who live in a box care about themselves. Narcissism is a very bad place to be because it's all about you. And many times that can be a very lonely place. if you come out the box and embrace the fact that we are an amazing world full of amazing cultures, then you learn more about your neighbors. And we here at the Power Up want to send an amazing hug and some love to our Hispanic and Latino brothers and sisters. Thank you, Magda, for educating us on the importance of this celebration and on your amazing work with the Imaki's Home Arts Foundation that you can use to support those in her reach, the kids, the children that she tries to assist. I believe that's Imaki's Home Arts Foundation.org. But reach out. You can Google Magda anywhere and get that information. Thank you, productions team. Family, our health front reminded you something very simple. You are what you eat. You're an on-the-go eater. Just know you've got to allow your body an opportunity to process all you consume. If you want to live well in your senior years, it starts with what you do right now. Get educated, be equipped, and then come on and elevate your lifestyle. Consider tapping into WebMD, which is an amazing resource on everything that touches the body and can share some helpful tips on nutrition. Also, the American Diabetes Association, diabetes.org. Remember, doesn't matter whether you're just a diabetic or never heard of diabetes. It's tapping into the resources that can help you be better. If you're serving someone in the aging population, taking care of mama, tap into that website and see what tips they have for seniors and caregivers. It is a powerful resource that can help you to make sure that not only you're living well, but we're taking care of our community. As we wrap up today, the Power Up wants to always extend our gratitude to those who put themselves in harm's way on a daily basis, to our emergency responders, our first responders, our 911 centers, to those who run into the harm everyone else is fleeing from. We honor you today. To our military and our veterans, thank you for your service. To those who are in the healthcare community, the true supermen and superwomen. Y'all, I was in a place where I was coughing on my nurse, and she was so busy trying to give care to me that it helped calm me in that space. I don't know if you've ever been there, but compassion when you're hurting is a true gift. We thank our superheroes in the healthcare industry who care for us when we can't care for ourselves. That includes those who might be in hospice units or in home care. We care for caring for our aging population, even in hospitals around the globe. The Power Up is meant to elevate you, equip you, empower you, to remind you that you are in a space created just for you to make a difference. Before we close today, there's one thought that we want to leave with you. And that's, what are you doing where you are? How are you affirming yourself every day to be empowered to do something? See here, we're going to give you the information. We're going to bring you the news you may not have heard if you don't watch the news. We're going to bring you current events. We're going to make sure that you hear from experts. That is what our production team is intending to do, to make sure that we pour into you content, information, and inspiration. But then what? What are you doing with it? How are you lifting yourself to make sure that you're moving forward? Life can be hard. It can knock the wind out of you sometimes. I'm in a state of bereavement. I've mentioned on the show before, having recently buried my dad, my hero. What I've learned is it's a process. It can affect your eating, can affect your sleeping, can affect your communication with folks. There are sometimes things that just cause a ripple effect. Just like disaster. When you experience a natural disaster, when you watch others suffer, when you hear the news of 74 folks being lost in a fire, it does something to you. So what do you do to make sure that you can rise up and show up and be the difference? We want to leave you with a few thoughts to remind yourself of how important affirmations are with kickstarting and jumpstarting you, with making sure that you're in position and doing an action. First, we want to leave you with the reminder to surround yourself with positive energy. Remove the negativity and the distractions. You have the power to do that. And yes, sometimes that means people in your ears. I watched a beautiful young lady this morning on the Fab Five, which is an amazing show you don't want to miss on the Win Network every morning. And Terry said, you know, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I need to make sure I'm in a place of peace. In fact, sometimes I have to put my life on Do Not Disturb. Thank you, Terry, because you're absolutely correct. If I'm not in a place of peace, then I'm paying too much. It costs too much to forfeit my peace, to forfeit my health for someone else. And when you consider the fact that a lot of times individuals just dump and keep going, and while you're still dealing with it and spinning and trying to work it out in your mind, that individual has kept right on, not even thinking about it again. How about we learn how to be that duck where the water runs off your back? Where I heard grandma say, it doesn't stick to you like Jell-O. The things that we practice is what helps us to be whole. Your space, affirmations, looking at words, putting stickies around you. I told you on my mirror, I have tons of stickies so that when I'm brushing my teeth, I see something that's going to lift me. I see I am enough, because that helped me during that breakup. I'm brushing my teeth and I see a scripture that says all I have to do is seek ye first and everything else will come. I needed to see that my eyes have to be fixed. I got to go pray. I got to do something that's going to be meditating. I have to come and get to my center, my power source. Whatever your power source, whatever your center should be your priority. Consider removing negativity at all costs. And here you go. And let the chips fall where they may. Sometimes you got to let folks go, which is the hardest thing I am dealing with because I love people. But I've learned that my peace is priceless. Family, find your affirmation. Make sure you see it every day. Make sure you speak life to yourself before you jump on that laptop and start working, before you get on that conference call, before you jump up and start getting the babies ready for school. Find that speech, that statement, what you need to do to be the best you. Good morning, Tammy. You're beautiful. If I never hear it from my husband or somebody else, I've learned to love me first. And even that was a process. Family, acknowledging where you are, tapping into resources around you, getting a coach, a mentor, connecting to an advisor, finding someone that can be that uplifter when you need it is so essential to your happiness, because you deserve to be happy. We end the show today with our wrap up, reminding you that you are great. And we're so excited that you hung in there and joined us today. See you next time.